Hey guys, so I had posted last week 10 ways to grow your personal and business brand during COVID-19. And that was actually from a LinkedIn Live that I watched with Brunson last week. So I had posted the 10 slides on my page and I had promised to come on and just share in a little bit more detail some of the stuff he shared. So as you see, I'm not in lipstick, makeup, nothing. I just can't bother today. I mean, I'm homeschooling right now, so this is my mode of operation for today, and I think that's fine. All right, so I'm gonna start with number 10, and number 10 was begin knowing that you have value. Now, this is something that you guys hear me talking about all the time. You have to provide value, but you have to know that you actually have value first. So some of the things that Paul said, he spoke about knowing that you actually have worth, that there is no one that has experienced what you have experienced it in the way that you have experienced it. That already makes you stand out in whatever you're doing, but you have to understand that first, that no one has been through what you've been through the way that you've been through it, no matter what industry you're in or what you do. And then he also said, you are unique, right? Sometimes it's about the fact that there is something extraordinary that is within you as an individual. And that's what makes everybody so special. We have all been extraordinarily made. You have to think about what is that thing that you bring to the table that is of high value, and something that you know someone else will need. So when you figure out what that kind of value is that you bring, then you can know how to share that knowledge and share that wisdom with others that actually need what you have to say or need your help. So number 10 was begin knowing that you actually have value. There's an amazing book that I read it's actually called Know Your Value by Mika Brzezinski. It's really great, and it really just goes into detail about understanding that you are valuable and understanding how valuable you are. All right, number 9 was create a good avatar. So what's an avatar? In marketing, we use this term brand avatar, and that's really drilling down on who is your ideal client, your ideal person, your ideal audience, the person that actually really needs your services. But really getting down into the specifics of who that person is. What do they look like? What are their interests? Where do they live? What do they do? What are their habits? What do they need from you? And so he spoke about going down into the details and making that brand avatar represent one person specifically. Let me see what else he had here about that. So he really went into about the specifics. Know the pain points of your brand avatar. So what are some of the challenges that the person that needs your service or your product that they're having right now? If you can list that out, then it helps you to target your audience better. So the more specific you can be with what are the needs and what are the pain points of your ideal audience, the better you'll be able to serve them and to attract that person to whether it's your page, your website, or to your services or products. So that's like an assignment. So I actually started doing that, doing a list. I've done it for Garrick Communications, but for personal branding, I have an idea, and I know I really speak to individuals and entrepreneurs who are trying to either build a better personal brand or recreate their brand or reinvent their brand or just start from the beginning. But I want to actually do this assignment myself and get really down to the specifics of who my ideal audience is. And I think it's a great exercise for all of us to try. Oh my God, we're already at 4 minutes and I'm just at number 9. All right, number 8, create video content that specifically gives solutions to your avatar's deepest pain points. So that's kind of going back into what we just said. One, you need to identify who is your brand avatar and then figure out what are the problems that they have so that you can actually solve them. Number 7, local news has more opportunity than any point in our lifetime ever. And for someone that's in PR, I can tell you guys right now that the media is looking for content, whether it's online platforms, online magazines, your local newspaper, TV, radio interviews, because people cannot go out to get the content and the information. So now they're reaching out to people like me, a PR practitioner, for content from our clients, something that we would normally have to be chasing to get published or to get an interview, which we have to pay for on some occasions. Now a lot of media houses need additional content on their stations or on their platforms. So if you have content that you can share, simply start reaching out to different editors. You can find them online, look for their email addresses and send them a direct email if you know that you have valuable information to share to their audience. Number 6, become a 2-month intern. So I love this one. If there's a skill set that you need to acquire and you haven't done that before, if you're at work now and the job that you normally do, maybe it's not considered essential right now, you might need to find a way to become essential. And a great way is to start offering your help. Maybe you've always been interested in the marketing department, but you're in accounting. Now's a great time to go over to that department and say, hey guys, do you need some help? Let me help you for free. Or for me, I want to be better at creating really great video content. So I'm going to reach out to some of my colleagues in that industry that does cinematography and stuff and ask them to give me some pointers. I will go on little sets or whatever I can with them right now so I can learn. Or right now, I've also signed up for Google Garage, so I'm learning more about digital marketing. I'm using this time to up my skill levels so I can add additional value to all of my clients when this is all over. All right, number 5, test your product idea as opposed to starting an entire business. So I think this is a great one. So a lot of us right now are trying to figure out what are we doing? What's the next step? And we want to jump into starting a whole brand new business. But what Paul is suggesting is before you just jump into the business, test it on the market first. Let's see if the market actually wants your product or service. So do a couple test runs before you actually jump into spending this money on creating a whole new business that maybe people don't want those services. All right, number 4, because I think I only get 10 minutes on this thing, right? Your DM or inbox must do one of 2 things. It's either going to delight or it's going to disappoint. And for a lot of people, that direct message may be their first actual interaction with you and your brand. What's the experience that they're gonna have when you actually respond to them when they send a query or a question about something that you may have posted or about your service? How are you gonna find a way to still give additional value even in that short conversation that you have online? So what you want to ensure that every interaction that someone has with your brand, they are being delighted and not disappointed. So you want to help someone to get closer to their goal. That was what he said at the end of that. Number 3, comment, comment, comment. So wherever your brand avatars follow, those platforms, those pages, those brands, you need to be there too, and you need to be a part of that conversation. You need to be commenting and providing value even on that space so that people are seeing you being actively engaged, and people know that you're providing information that's of value to them right now in this time. Number 2, become a matchmaker. So that's really about like networking. This is not about you right now. This is about you trying to connect other people in different spaces. So maybe someone doesn't need your service, but you know exactly who they need to speak to. Connect them. Be a matchmaker in your space. People will thank you, people will appreciate you, and when it's time for them to use your services, you're top of mind. Number 1, create success habits. Now, this is something that we can be doing right now. They say it takes 66 days to create a successful habit. What habits do you want to create during this time? We have a lot of time now, more time than ever before. Use it wisely to create the right types of habits that will not only get you through this time, but it will also take you to another level later on in life when this is all over. So these are the 10 tips from Paul Brunson, 10 ways to grow your personal and business brand during COVID-19. If you want to look back at these, you can go back on my post where I posted all 10. Hope you have a great day.